Hello, good afternoon. My name is Oriolua Oluwasami. I'll be doing the presentation for our group where we worked on our future transportation systems around the world, how we are likely different in 30 years. The other members of our group are Christina Shiano, Linrong Zhang, Robin Elian, and Danny Dixon. And I will continue. The first slide. Means of transportation have been evolving year by year and will continue that pattern indefinitely. 30 years from now, the possibilities are endless when it comes to technological advances in travel. So we will be examining 6 forms of innovative future transportations around the world. The first, which most of you probably know about, is the Google self-driving cars. The second is straddling buses. The third is the Hyperloop system. The fourth is Next. The fifth is Malgov trains, and the sixth are SkyTrans. So we will start with the Google self-driving cars. So to create a fully self-driving car with the intentions of offering a safer environment for everyone, which is a purpose of creating the car. Another purpose is vehicle-related deaths and injuries have been increasing every year. Google believes that their self-driving cars can be the solution. We look at self-driving cars versus driver assistance. A fully self-driving car requires no interface with the driver. In this case, the driver is merely a passenger because they would not even have too much to touch the steering wheel. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration puts this type of technology into a level 4 category. So a driver assistant car is one that helps you drive. A self-driving car is one that takes complete control of the car. A driver's assistance, you still have to put your arm on the wheels and still move it around a little bit. A self-driving car is fully self-operational. So a driver's assistant vehicle still requires an actual driver, which, just like I just explained, some features that could be available will be self-parking, adaptive cruise control, and could even at times drive itself, but would not be as functional as the fully self-driving car. This technology ranges from a level 1 to 3 under the NHTSA. So 4 questions that needed to be answered. Where am I? What's around me? And what will happen next? What shall I do? Which are questions that you ask yourself when you're in a Google car. Where am I? This is answered by using 360-degree sensors that track everything that is taking place in that given area. GPS information is also used to pinpoint further information of the environment. What's around me? The 360-degree sensor categorizes objects into size, shape, and movement patterns. This technology can't tell the difference between cyclists, pedestrians, and the ball rolling in the street. So you really have to know the difference, and the car has to tell the difference between different objects, which is very, very necessary. What will happen next? The programming that went into the predictive future was meant to ensure the passengers and pedestrian safety. It can sense when the pedestrian is about to cross the street or if a car is about to switch lanes. It studies how fast objects are moving in relation to its size and whether or not it is a driver is being reckless, or whether or not if it's like the road conditions. What should I do? The vehicle is programmed to react according to the obstacle or upcoming objects. This involves slowing down, speeding up, and moving towards the far part of the lane when a big truck is approaching. So this is a picture of the fully designed prototype. As you can see, the sensors are on top. There's an interior just like a regular car where you can sit down. The shape of the car is actually rounded. There are electronic batteries which powers the vehicle. There are also backup systems for steering, braking, computing, and more. There's also a computer installed in it to do all the functionalities of the self-driving. So the launch of the project. On-road testing has already begun for this project, gathering over 1.5 million miles driven. Google self-driving cars can be seen on the streets of Mountain View, California, Austin, Texas, Kirkland, Washington, and Metro Phoenix, Arizona. These cars are still going through field tests and are not yet available for purchase. So I actually watched the news and I saw that a lot of these are actually being banned at certain states because they're not really ready for fully driven cars yet. So that's actually something we have to look at. So the second innovation are straddling buses. The concept of straddling bus was first developed by Hashi Future Park and Equipment Company in Shenzhen as a way in solving the traffic problems in Beijing and other regions in China. So they had an obstacle. The obstacle was to develop a transportation system that didn't add to the current traffic congestion, but reduced it. They also wanted to develop a transport system that didn't require building new transport infrastructure. This is where the concept of the straddling car came into play. So if you do know Beijing, they have one of the worst traffic, and their streets are usually always congested. So Hashi Future Park and Equipment Company came up with this concept to solve all that problem. So the purpose behind the idea. So it was created to reduce the traffic caused by all forms of transport by giving their users a faster and less strenuous way to commute, especially those who take the buses. It was purposed to replace up to 40 conventional buses, potentially saving 860 tons of fuel that is consumed annually by those 40 buses, preventing 2,640 tons of carbon emission. The system is also meant to reduce the traffic congestion caused by cars by providing the closest form of public transport that resembles the convenience and efficiency of driving a car. So here's a picture of the straddling bus. So as you can see, it's actually on the street, and it doesn't really have wheels. You have cars going in and outwards. So I'll explain more. The design concept of the straddling bus is very unique. The bus has two levels. The upper level carries passengers, while the lower level is the vehicle pass-through. It is wide, straddling 2 lanes at a time, letting traffic pass underneath when it is both stopped and when it is in motion. It's another picture of the bus actually going on the street. So you see it as it's moving into cars. Our cars is going inside the bus. It travels on the roadway and highways and is equipped with signals underneath that gives cars traveling warning that a turn is coming up. The bus has the ability to carry 1,200 to 1,400 passengers at a time. Each car could hold up to 300 people. The buses are 6 meters wide and travel up to 60 km per hour. The underpass of the bus is 4 to 4.5 m, allowing only 2 m or less to pass underneath. There are radars and sensors in the underpass that alert drivers passing underneath if they get too close to the bus, which also warns traffic approaching from behind if a vehicle is too tall to go under the bus. There will be sensors all over the bus to prevent things like collision and to warn drivers when the bus is about to turn. Advantages of the straddling bus. The advantage of the straddling bus is its construction time. The construction of the bus can be completed within a year for 40 km guideway. It doesn't add to the pollution, but rather reduces it and uses renewable sources of energy. It doesn't add to the traffic jam, but reduces it by reducing the amount of vehicle on the road. There's also no need to build parking structures for the bus, because cars can always go in through the bus when they are parked. So it doesn't really affect traffic too, because traffic goes right into the bus. Construction of the bus also costs 10% less to make than what it costs to make traditional subways. Progress. In 2010, after the straddling bus was named one of the Times Magazine's top 50 inventions of the year, the Beijing district of Montague proposed to begin trial runs for the new buses. The district planned out 186 km for the construction of the bus, but they put a hold on the actual project until the company establishes a prototype that is proven successful in trials. So they actually put a hold on it just because they originally they saw the idea and wanted to implement it without it going through trials. So they actually put a pause on that, and they're actually waiting for Hashi to actually do a trial model to actually show them if it's actually possible for this to actually work and succeed. So in 2013, the city of Manaus in Brazil signed a letter of intent with the Chinese developer to create a straddling bus system. Due to its short construction time, added benefits, and interest by other populated cities, we will be seeing this form of transportation in the next 30 years. The Hyperloop. The Hyperloop was first proposed by Elon Musk in 2012. The concept of the Hyperloop consists of capsules running inside vacuum tubes with electric compressor fans in the nose of each capsule, which run on battery packs. The battery pack will run during the entire trip with energy to spare, as the electric compressor's fan draws in air, as it is expelled from the bottom of the capsules by motors to provide an air cushion that will suspend the capsules while it travels at 700 miles per hour. Solar panels will also be used to power up the models, and the Hyperloop will run on pylons over land rather than underground. So pylons are sort of like tracks, but they're like elevated tracks. Elevated tracks meaning that the tracks elevate themselves rather than the train being on the tracks. The Hyperloop concept is open source, allowing many companies and teams to work on the advance of the system on their own. Designs for test tracks of the Hyperloop have been developed and will be constructed sometime in 2016, along with test runs that are expected to occur in the same year. So I recently was just watching the news, and they were showing that they have been developing this. I'm not sure exactly which state. I believe it is in Arizona, but they are developing it. The estimated cost for the Hyperloop system is $6 billion for the passenger-only model, or $7.5 billion for a larger model that can transport both passengers and vehicles. Hyperloop Technology is one company working on the Hyperloop system that is testing their electric models on the high speed this year. So here's a picture of the Hyperloop model. As you can see from the ones on your left, the yellow tracks are the pylons. So rather than it staying on the pylon, the fans lift it, and it actually lifts the train up on the tracks, so it's actually faster and more efficient. So the next system was developed by Tommaso Gretchen, and he's been working on the idea since 2012 and has improved upon it since his recent version, the 3.0 version. Next are cube-shaped driverless pods that operate like taxis. They are called from the Next app and can fit up to 10 people. Next uses existing roadways and a cloud-based routing system that coordinates the autonomous pods. Next pods can link together and create a chain of pods that are all traveling at the same location. One very innovative and convenient features of Next is the service pods, which allow passengers to order service pods such as bathrooms, coffee shops, or restaurants, which will come in to their own pods and link up with the pod. So with this, what it is if you want like coffee, or if you want to use the bathroom, there are separate pods for that you can always request it on your smartphone, and as you're going in your pod, another pod will connect you with the same pod that sells the coffee or where the bathroom is. So the Next Pod Transportation is Gretchen's company is currently working on a prototype and plans to launch the system by 2020. So this is the image description of the Next. So the single, as you can look to your right, that's a single vehicle, and the other two are connected. So these two can always join with the single one to create 3 pods. So to your left is the pods that we were talking about. For example, the bathroom or coffee. So those pods are always separate. They can always be connected to the pod that you are in if you do request it. Maglev trains. In 30 years, our life will be changed because of the implementation of a sophisticated transportation system. This is called the Maglev train, or magnetic levitation. It is a new mode of future transportation which was conceptualized during the early 1900s by an American professor and inventor, Robert Goddard, a French-born American engineer, Emily Bachelet. It has been in commercial use since 1984, with several operating at present and an extensive network proposed for the future. Maglev trains will be a mainstay in many people and goods throughout the world. Maglev programs started in the U.S., Japan, Germany, and other countries. Maglev was first proposed as a method to propel trains as far back as the mid-20th century. The world's fastest passenger carrying train is currently the Shanghai. This train has a lot of advantage over the earlier forms of transportation, which would be very beneficial for the people's lives in 30 years. So this is a description of the Maglev train, which is already in existence, which I actually saw a video of it when I was doing the research, and it's actually operational in some cities already. In the next 30 years, people will experience less population and carbon dioxide, especially from the Maglev trains. Carbon dioxide is much less from autos, trucks, airplanes, Because of Malgov's very high energy efficiency, this would certainly be a benefit for passengers and for the environment. Several train systems using Malgov have been developed over the years, with most operating over relatively short distances. Between 1984 and 1995, the first commercial Malgov train system was developed in Great Britain as a shuttle between Birmingham Airport and a nearby rail train. Malgov trains eliminates a key source of friction, that of the train's wheels on the rail. This lack of friction means that they can reach a higher speed than conventional trains. The speed is twice as fast as a conventional commuter train. Malgov trains are more energy efficient than conventional trains. This transportation system will definitely have a severe impact on individuals over the next 30 years. Next innovation is the SkyTran. It is a network of computer-controlled, two-person jet-like personal rapid transit system. The SkyTran was first proposed by inventor Douglas Malwicki in 1990. He spent the past 25 years in inventing and developing the SkyTran concept. Now, SkyTran, based at NASA MS Research Center in California, and its CEO, Jerry Sanders. The advantages are its high capacity. It can be installed and additional vehicles to the network as the demand grows. The second advantage is the transport is fast. The high speed moves up to 150 miles per hour. Passengers can get on and get off with no stops between. It's flexible. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's fully operational. No schedules to follow or lines to wait. All you do is call up a vehicle by using your computer or a smartphone. Lower cost. It expects to only charge $5 for rides. The infrastructure is lower than the underground system and the surface system. So to actually build a train, the infrastructures will cost less than it costs to actually build an overhead train or underground train. So here's a demonstration of the SkyTran diagram. So as you can see, the pods carry each passengers, and it takes you at a high speed to wherever you want to go. So it is individualized, so you necessarily don't have to get in a pod with a whole bunch of other people. You can always call for your own personal pod. And that is our presentation. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.